Number 21 through 25 odd, we're just asked to graph the function, and I urge you to not use graph paper on these because, well, I'll show you in a little bit. But in order to graph a function where the quadratic function is in standard form, we have to identify the a, the a and the b, because we want to put the a and the b into negative b over 2a. And negative b over 2a gives us our x-coordinate of our vertex, and this equation right here is the equation of the axis of symmetry. So anyway, the a is the number in front of the x squared, that's negative 6. The b is the coefficient of the linear term, so the next number in front of the x, which is negative 12. And so negative b over 2a is, make sure you put the minus sign there. Write it out, because trying to do too much in your head sometimes leads to problems. So negative b is negative 12, over 2 times a, and a is negative 6. The numerator, when you take the opposite of a negative number, you get a positive number. And the denominator, you get 2 times negative 6, that's negative 12. And 12, positive 12 over negative 12 is a negative 1. So that's a convenient number, because now, in order to find the y-coordinate of our vertex, we're going to replace x with negative 1. Do this step by step. So you write negative 6 times the x is negative 1, square that, minus 12 times, again, the x being negative 1, minus 1. So there's a lot of minus signs in here, easy to make mistakes, but if you do each step carefully, you should have no problems. Negative 1 squared, we know in PEMDAS we have to evaluate the expressions that have the exponents in them first before we multiply. So negative 1 squared is 1. And then we have negative 12 times negative 1. Well, negative 12 times negative 1 is positive 12. And then minus 1. So we have negative 6 times 1 is negative 6. Plus 12 minus 1. Moving from left to right, because now all we have is addition and subtraction. Negative 6 plus 12 is positive 6. And 6 minus 1 is 5. All that being said, the x-coordinate of the vertex we said was negative 1. The y-coordinate we determined of the vertex is 5. And if the vertex is negative 1, 5, well, we might as well plot that. Negative 1, 5 is right there, let's say. So negative 1 and then 5. So we draw the vertex, and then plot it, label it, I mean. Negative 1, comma 5 is the vertex. I labeled the vertex above the vertex because I recognize that a is negative, so therefore the parabola will open down. It'll be really skinny parabola, because that negative 6 is a way bigger number in absolute value than a 1. So 1 would be out here, so negative 1 would be out here somewhere. Negative 2, so it's probably not even narrow enough, but it's good enough for our purposes. And so that's it. We're just asked to graph the parabola, graph the quadratic function, and there we have it. We know that all quadratic functions are parabolas, so this one opens down and we're good.